Hi everyone, it's Margaret Manning here. Welcome to 60 and Me. Thanks so much for being here this morning. Hope that you're doing great, having a really wonderful day wherever you are, and thanks for being here. I hope that you're checking out our website recently. We've just updated it and it's got so much new content. I would love to encourage you to go there and have a conversation there. Leave your comments. It's really wonderful to know that the things we're writing about are of interest to you, and if you've got any suggestions, you can leave comments there or send me email, margaret@60andme.com. It's always good to chat with you. But we also have a big community now on YouTube. So you're maybe watching this video there and you're seeing lots of comments below. So go check that out too. Anyway, here we are. I'm having a cup of lavender tea this morning. Is that the right side? Yeah. And it was an unusual tea to choose because I'd never tasted lavender except in, well, I guess I rub it in my fingers when I see the plants. But anyway, drinking a lovely cup of lavender tea. So that's you're doing fine with yours, and got a topic that I think will be kind of fun today. It's one of these fun topics by a blogger called Nancy Fagan, and Nancy is writing a book on retirement boredom, on boredom in retirement, and how to avoid that. And she actually had an interview with someone who's most curious, and I'll tell you all about her conversation with him, because it's a response really to the things that happen to us when we have a little more extra time on our hands and perhaps are not working and haven't had that time in retirement to really make sense of it all, like sort of figure out what it is you want to do. So, we need to look in ourselves. We know this, and we want to be able to reflect and kind of calm ourselves down so that we can get a plan in place. And anyway, she talked to someone very curious. I'll tell you in a second, but I wanted to share with you I have a card that I look at every morning from our new 60 and Me deck called Aging Beautifully. It's a really nice deck of cards that talks about issues that are of interest to women in their 60s, and it's really beautiful. It's got lovely pictures and inspirational quotes that help us to sort of make sense of some of these issues that are on our minds. And the one I selected today was kind of relevant to this topic, which is shut out the noise. And that's all about, taking an opportunity to actually sit down, block out all the external sensory input from social media, from your friends, from your family, and just find a place to sit. And I really love this. I'll just read this because I think it kind of links in with what Nancy is talking about too. So here it is. It says, "Shut out the noise. We live in a world saturated by technology. Is it any wonder that we have trouble hearing ourselves think? Switch off, get back to nature, and reconnect with yourself. The sounds of nature bring you closer to yourself." And I think that's so true. And I think that this person that Nancy interviewed would definitely agree with that strategy for getting closer to a self-acceptance and understanding. So this is a man that I'm not going to pronounce his name, but he's called the Monk Dude. He's a monk, a Buddhist monk, and he is called the Monk Dude because he's got a kind of different approach to meditation and to bringing stillness and quiet and dealing with boredom strategies in your 60s. Well, really any time of your life. But he presented her with some interesting ideas as she interviewed him for anti-boredom strategies. So she asked him, what is boredom? I mean, why do we get bored? And he said, it's basically because we're not paying attention. We're not paying attention to what's going on. We're not shutting out the noise. We're actually just, not seeing how interesting life is and how much there is to be enjoyed. And his advice, of course, is start by slowing down. Go deep inside yourself. And people will feel attuned to what they feel is important, what is a priority for them. And that means that they'll feel happier and less depressed, less anxious, and less bored. I saw a poster once that's something like, don't be afraid of getting older, be afraid of getting boring. And it's sort of the same thing. It's like being bored and being boring is kind of the same. He also talks about the power of music. And he says, music brings out the awe, the peace, it's devotional, and it's a way of lifting the mood. He says, so try fighting boredom by just enjoying music. And he says, not just listening to music, singing, enjoying, shouting out, like engaging with music. Go to your church or a community center, wherever there's performances that you can join in. I have a friend who is in London, and she's a singer, and she actually also goes to the Messiah, which is held every year. I think it's in the Royal Albert Hall, and you can sing along. And it's really, really cool. She always writes about how an amazing experience it is. But he says it's the quickest way to legally change your state of mind. And, get engaged, sing or dance, join in. And that's kind of important, I think, for him to point out music. Music is important. It can help with depression and mood, and it's just great. Do you dance? Do you sing? Be nice to know. But the final thing he talks about is one that you would expect from a Buddhist monk, which is meditation as a form of concentration. So, if you're sitting down in meditation and you're feeling bored, well, you can try something different. He gives some really, really good tips here I hadn't even thought about. So how do you maintain focus when you're sitting there meditating and all of a sudden, like, what do you want for dinner? Where are you going next? What was that person saying? Why did I do that? All those thoughts come into your mind. You can actually do a simple thing by introducing an element of something that's a little dangerous. Now, he says, for example, do something like, go spend a night in a spooky hotel or go sitting in a graveyard, somewhere where it's really, really like you are forced to stay focused. And he said, that's really, really the way to do it. Motivation will help you make the effort. But he actually gives a more sane and less dangerous thing to do, which I thought this is very cute. I never thought about this. And he's basically saying you do walking meditation. And take a spoon and fill it with a teaspoon of water. Fill up a teaspoon of water and walk around the room. Maybe a bigger spoon's better, but fill it up with water and then walk around the room while you're doing your meditation. Breathing in, breathing out, keeping your eyes slightly open, breathing in, breathing out. Really, really simple. That's the meditation that I use. But apparently I've never done it yet, but I will try. Keeping that water in the spoon is like the thing that keeps you focused. So that's a strategy for dealing with boredom when you meditate. Another thing he says is great is origami, Japanese paper folding. Does anyone do that? I love it. I don't know how to do much more than the crane, but I do fold paper and I really enjoy it. It's very soothing. Another way to shut out the noise is to color. Coloring is really, really relaxing. And I remember in the last few months, I had a couple of things that were quite stressful to deal with. And I just got a stained glass coloring book and found myself in the evening when I was not sleeping very well, just to sit and color. And it really helped. And also it was beautiful. The colors were great. And I just used Sharpies. It was nothing. I actually ended up throwing the book away because it was one of those things that had to go when the thoughts went. And so coloring is wonderful. There are some phone apps. If you've got iPhones or Android phones, there are Headspace, Calm. There's another one, Bliss. Bliss is actually an interesting one. We mentioned it in the article. It's actually one where you design your own meditation experience using what works for you, chanting, meditation, silent meditation. It's called Bliss. And these are ways to look inside yourself and really get the full value of the meditative process. I think it was a really cool thing for Nancy to do as part of her research on her book on boredom in retirement, to go talk to the monk dude. He lives in California somewhere, but I think he gave some good advice. And I hope she's listening here. I can tell her thank you for the article, but good luck with the book. And I think that's being able to help people solve the problem of boredom in retirement is a very positive thing. So anyway, I do hope that you enjoyed that. And thank you, Nancy, for writing the article. And check out the monk dude. He's probably written some books, or at least Nancy could point you if you check out her website and be inspired by just a different perspective on meditation. So, hope that you enjoyed that. I'd like to ask you, what do you do to escape boredom? Does it work? Please share with us, and then we can learn as well. So what do you do to exploit boredom? Look, and by the way, I forgot to mention to you that if you do want to take a look at this deck of beautiful cards, it's aging beautifully, there's a link in the article below here, so you can take a look at it and maybe be inspired in the same way by a daily card that is inspirational and helpful. So have a wonderful day, everybody. Tell us what you do to escape boredom in your 60s, and I look forward to hearing from you. Take care. Have a great day. We'll see you all again soon. Bye-bye.